hi. Hey, I've learned a lot about this in the past couple weeks. So I hope everyone's well. If you're doing okay, send me a wave, would you? I've learned that I'm supposed to talk to you. Can you wave? Hi, I'm Terry Pescatelli. Welcome to 3 a.m. Thank you. The show that is not at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it does talk about friendship and how important it is to be the type of friend that you could call at 3 a.m. and have any advice. As a matter of fact, I have a lot of advice that I'd like to share with some of you. I've been about it as well. Let me turn this up. Let me see. Can you hear me now? Is that much better? Is that Send me a heart if you like the volume. Throughout the show, if you're enjoying it, send a little heart. Now there's always something that happens with this silly show. I have to tell you. How about now? Everything good? Got thumbs up from everyone? Awesome. I'm hoping that you can enjoy the show with me too. My special guest tonight is actually here. I'm going to pull him up on stage any second. Jon Reep, amazing comedian. He's a guy that I don't even want to talk about. Normally in this show, I talk about my opinion about the things, but there's some things that are going on. That Johnny Heard, okay? Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, the whole turd situation. But I think most important, let's talk about, we talked about here before, the Will Smith situation that I thought would lead to some crazy comedy situations. And here we already have Dave Chappelle being attacked last night at the Hollywood Bowl. So I think before we really even get into any of my problems, because look, my problems are what they are. Comedy is hard. Life is tough. I'm trying to fit you guys in while being a wife and mom and trying to figure out what I'm going to get for my own mother for Mother's Day. I'm working on Mother's Day. So people are like, what do you want for Mother's Day? I think I want to sleep in ultimately. But I'm going to bring Jon right up to the stage right now. So, Jon, I saw you there. I'm going to send you an invitation to show. Now, I've also learned, guys, I've met some great people. I see you, Juliet. I see you, Chantel. It's so nice to see everybody. Maggie's here. Maggie's sick. So everybody send Maggie some love. Jon, can you turn on your camera?
Yes, let's see here. Can you hear me?
I
Oh,
can.
except, here we go. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? How we doing?
Hey, everybody, please welcome Jon Reep to 3 a.m. Friends. This is such an amazing platform, and I'm so learning every week about things, and people can do their emoticons down there, and then there's the chat that's going on that I'm not smart enough to look at all at the same time.
Uh-oh, we lost her. Am I the only one here? Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 a.m. Friend. Oh, hi. She's back.
I was just saying how I'm finally learning this platform, and I got kicked off. So that's the kind of stuff. But that's a friend, man. You see what he just did for me there, ladies and gentlemen. You see how he jumped in and took over, because that's what a real friend is.
Well, Tammy, I will thank you, number one, for having me. This is awesome. I, I think your microphone, because people were saying something in the beginning, I think your microphone is very close to something where your hand is, because we can hear. It's almost like it's far away when you go to do something with your hand. I can hear it. It's like it's muffled. Like we hear you, but it's very muffled. I'm not sure. Is oh,
I'm literally on my phone just like
that's
everybody else.
it. Whatever
Oh,
you did there is different.
okay. Well, that's awesome. It's a bad angle, but we can handle it. I'll just do this for the rest of the
Okay.
show. I've been learning, Jon, and every time I think I've got it mastered, something else happens. But you know what? That's what's so cool about this whole platform, because people are understanding about it. Last week I didn't have, or 2 weeks ago I didn't have a guest, and I just read from a book called The Art of War. So it
Oh,
was a lot of fun. Jon, you know what? I was excited to have you, not only because you've been really good to me throughout all these years, and I really consider you a friend, like comedy.
definitely.
There are work friends, and then there are friends, and you're a friend. Um, we even told jokes about each other. Remember with the season that you won, Last Comic Standing, I got to come back and do some jokes. I think you
Yes.
said Do you remember
Oh
what you
boy.
said to me?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Go ahead, tell
I,
it. It's okay because I mean that's what roasts are about.
Yeah, well, okay, number one, I don't I like watching roasts, but I don't like being in them because I don't want to make I'm not the kind of comedian who goes after people. That's just not what I do. I enjoy watching when other people do it and they're good at it, and you do have to have thick skin, but I'm never comfortable doing it. And so, but I had to because it was for Last Comic Standing, and I had
Same.
all these jokes, and I'm
Yes.
like, because I know they're all going to come at me, so I gotta have something.
Well, and
I
also,
think
may I just interject? It's important that you have something because if they don't say something, like for me, who was coming up, you were the panelist, we were roasting you and Lavelle Crawford. If you didn't say something to me, I would have felt left out. Then you feel like you're
right.
not important, right? So it's
That's
important that you
true.
said something for me because it gave me camera time.
Well, you're welcome. I don't know exactly what the joke was, but I made some joke, and I said, "Don't worry, Tammy smelled that one coming a mile away."
It was great.
Something like that. I can't remember.
It was great.
Uh,
And I think I said that you were a live action of Larry Bird's rookie card or something. But it's just something that we would have said backstage playing
oh,
around. That's
100%.
a friend thing.
It's so true. By the way, have you seen this new show on HBO Max called Winning Time about the Lakers season with Magic Johnson and all that stuff?
Yeah, I only have seen the one episode because I am such a spoiled brat now when it comes to television. I don't want to wait to the next week. I wanted to finish your season so I can binge it. But the
Yeah,
first episode was phenomenal.
it's so good. The guy who did, I believe it's the guy who did Boogie Nights, director,
Yeah.
producer, whatever, is doing this, and you can tell it's just done really well. But the guy who's playing Larry Bird, there's a guy who's playing a young Larry Bird, and I can't help but see myself when I see this dude. I'm like, I see it. I see it.
So, you know what else we have in common? Besides, I didn't listen, guys. If you don't know, John's career is flawless. Like he not only did he win Last Comic, and he's got these amazing specials in his podcast, but he had an amazing run with commercials. You know, you were
Oh
the
yeah.
Hemi guy, so that was awesome. But what I felt like I really clicked with you is when you left LA. Like
Mm-hmm.
you and I both have that in common. We left at the prime of our career, not because it was bad for us, but we felt like we needed to do more for our
Mm-hmm.
family. And now a lot of people have gone now because they jumped out at post pandemic. But when you first left, did they tell you like me, that's it? I don't know how you're gonna continue your career from you're in South Carolina, right?
North
North Carolina.
Carolina, yeah, but it's all the way across the country from California, you know. So, well, when I left, I didn't even tell my manager. I didn't tell my agent because it's not like they come to my house ever anyway. It's always a phone call or an email or a text. And I'm on the road all the time anyway. So I was actually having a fun sort of challenge or game with my friends. Like, how long can I leave LA and they never know? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so finally, I told him like a couple months later. But you know, I think a lot of things work to our advantage these days. Now, technology's changed, the industry's changed.
Yeah.
I don't have to be in LA. I mean, we're lucky that we're both established anyway. People, you know, anyone who's in comedy, they already kind of know who we are. So it's not like we need to be discovered in Los Angeles anymore. We've got agents and managers. So when I left, I mean, when I was on the road, like Harold and Kumar, I got that from an audition I did while I was on the road. Eastbound and Down, I got on an audition I taped in a hotel room
One
by
of my
myself.
favorite shows, favorite shows.
Loved that. Made that was a dream come true.
You
But
were
I
amazing on
think
it.
the industry's changed so much that you know, you if you're already established, you don't necessarily have to live in Los Angeles and have a career anymore. So I was okay with it, but it was like you said, it was mostly dad had a stroke and I went home to look after mom and dad. Then the pandemic happens, you know,
Was smart,
and
and I mean, it's funny how we keep secrets that, like,
I was 5 months pregnant when I did that roast with you guys, but I had just told everybody because no one wanted me to tell that I was pregnant because they thought my career would be over. Because I think they had treated it like every woman that they had ever dated. I'm like, this wasn't a ruse to get a man. I'm still just as funny. I'm
Right.
now getting applause from the inside. So it was, crazy.
That's
So
right.
let's talk about. Hey, thank
Oh,
you
there we
guys. If
go.
you're enjoying it, give us a thumbs up. We're going to open it up for some questions here. But John and I, to catch you guys up, have spoken at length in the podcast that he does with our other very good pal, John Heffron. And we really spoke the Monday after the Academy Awards. And I was swearing, which I normally don't do unless I'm very angry or my husband is involved. And I was very upset over the Will Smith situation because I felt like it set a precedent. And now here we are,
Mm.
less than 2 months later, and there was a man with a Glock, a plastic Glock with a knife on it, attacking Dave Chappelle on stage last night. So let's talk about it, John. What are your thoughts?
Well, I just pulled this up right before we went live, and they identified the guy, and he's
Hmm.
basically a wannabe rapper, and he has a song about Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
And I guess this is him trying to get attention for his music. Is basically all it really is. That's all I know. But they got his name up here. I'm looking at thedailybeast.com. His name is Isaiah Lee, and I think he's just a mentally just messed in the head. I don't know if this guy, because it was funny. Chappelle said, "Oh, it's a guy who's transitioning to a one." He has all these trans people coming after him, so
Yes.
he made a little joke about that. But we don't know. I don't know if
But
this
wait, and
guy.
let's pause there for a quick second. You and I both know that it was a joke. I can't imagine
Oh,
what it'd
right.
be like that. It's one thing to have a heckler, it's another thing to have someone come and physically attack you now, but yet you're still responsible for he had probably, you know, I don't know how many of the Hollywood Bowl holds, 3,000 people,
Yeah, it's
3,500
crazy.
people that he had after he's attacked, he still came back to try to perform. So
Yeah.
when people are upset with him for saying, oh, that's a trans man, he's just trying to think of anything to recover his own self respect, his dignity, I guess.
Yeah, just make it
Agree?
relate. I mean, why would this guy have done it? Oh, I know because I've said this in the past, and maybe that's why. I mean, it was just in the moment, and that's nothing to be offended by anyway. It's who knows? Maybe the guy is, but um, they fucked him up. Did you
Yeah.
see the picture?
Yeah, well, that's the hard part now. He'll probably sue. He's got a broken arm. It was the dumbest thing I have to say. Like, you should never attack a comedian. But if you're going to do it, first of all, Hollywood Bowl has security. Dave has his own security. Chris Rock was there. He had his own security. Jamie Foxx is there. He had his own security. I'm sure there were some other well known, like, there was a team, like an NFL team of
Yeah,
security that probably jumped that guy. It wasn't just like the one cook who's coming out front of the comedy
right.
club because there was
Yeah,
a heckler. Now, I
and
heard.
and they were trying to get it. I think I heard Dave saying take him backstage. I think first he went over there to see what was going on. Oh, no, no. Okay, I'm getting that backwards. First, he said, "All right." He made a joke or whatever. He goes, "Take him off stage and do what you got to do. Just get him off the stage." And they weren't. They were taking turns, I guess, going after him or whatever. Couldn't really see. And then Dave said, "I want to go see what this is all about." And he walked over there and looked at it, and then he came back. But yeah, they screwed him up. I don't know how he got on stage. Like with all the security that big places, venues like the Hollywood Bowl has, how did he even make it that far?
Yeah, I
No,
think that crazy people are like mice. They can separate their bones and just squeeze into places. I think
yeah.
it's a. I heard today that there was a huge meeting around the country with some of these comedy clubs, and they're trying to figure out if they're going to assign a security guard to the stage. Would you like
Um,
that at your show? Would you be comfortable? Would you rather there be a security guard at the stage, or are you like, no, I'm all right?
I think there should be a level of security at every comedy club. Definitely. I mean, they have bouncers, but sometimes those are just big dudes who, they're not really qualified to be bouncers.
Yeah.
But but there should be something there, someone there all the time. Because I've had to kick people out of my show before. I just had to do this in Tulsa. There was a guy on the front row. I think he was coked up out of his brain. He had sunglasses on. He was all propped back, put his feet up on another chair, and had
Charlie
some.
Sheen.
Well, he would have been a great impressionist for Charlie Sheen because he was there was a lot of tiger's blood going on. But I was he had a little comment to make after everything I said.
Oh,
So and I'd come back for a little while, and then I realized like you can't do this after every joke, man. It's the one and done. We got to move on. I got another hour to kill up here, and he wasn't going with it. He kept doing his shit. So I said, all right, he's got to go, and they kicked him out. But I haven't had to do that in a long time. But I do think there should be security people at clubs. I don't know if I want them standing so close to me that it's a distraction. I want them close, but not so close. And me and John Heffern were just talking about this, and these are some of his ideas. We're going to have, as comedians, we're going to have to start moving the stool to where the steps are as like a little barricade. Maybe have more stools. Maybe have
a
hidden
gate. We'll just
weapons.
bring like a doggy gate or something.
Yeah, a little baby
We'll
gate.
bring our own doggy gate. I am gonna start offering free tickets to off-duty police officers for like bring their, I have done a lot of military shows. If you part of the military police, come out. Like I think I'm going to start doing that. Also, one of my best friends is a retired cop. Her husband is a retired sniper. I think I'm going to try to take them with me sometimes.
I did that when I was kicking this guy out. That I looked around and I said, "Any military guys here?" And there are always military guys at my shows, and there's three of us. And right here, I go, "You guys, you got my back, right?" And they're like, "Oh," and they couldn't wait. I mean, I had to call them off from going after this guy. So I feel what you're saying. I think that's a smart move, definitely.
Yeah, I think that, and you know what? It's funny because then you have to become the person that protects the crazy heckler. I had a woman who went crazy
Right.
to me the one time and threw the glass and all that other chaos. And there was a group of military guys who came after her, and then another group of women that were coming after her. And I found myself covered in wine, bleeding from the head, protecting this lady because I'm like, they're going to kick her ass. And I
Right.
just want her gone. I don't want her beat up. I just want her
Want
out
her
of here.
gone. Yes. Yes, I agree. Yeah, there's. I think it's smart to have someone close by. But have you had? I mean, I know that happened to you in at a
Mhm.
club. Um, is that the only time? Have you had other altercations or problems where you thought, like, God, this is a problem now?
I've had a couple things where like I literally so here's the biggest problem. I made this decision about 12 years ago that I was going to write my act as if we're all friends and I just haven't seen you in a long time because I feel like my fans are my friends. The people come to my show. If you don't know me, by the time you leave, I want you to feel connected because
Yeah.
I feel connected to them. The problem with that is that the people really do think that you're friends. And sometimes
Right.
you don't give them enough attention, just like a real friend, right? But a real drunk friend. You know how you have that one drunk friend that you just know, like, hey, let's not invite them to this one because they're going to, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
I get a lot of those where I get a lot of women who are on my side allegedly for the first, you know, 10 minutes when they're screaming out and doing the like they think it's improv, yes and they're trying to add to it like that guy.
Right.
And then like so I had a lady in Virginia try to come to the stage and she was like, I'm never coming to see you again. And I happened to have some cash in my pocket. And I said, how much are tickets? And they were like, they're $20. And I pulled out 40 and I go, here's 20 for this week. And here's 20 for the next time. Don't come the next time either. Like, if you
I
see me on
love that.
TV, change the channel. Don't even go see the movie Tammy Faye. Like, so, I mean, I've had it, but
Yeah.
this level of chaos is
Yeah.
completely different.
I
You
was
know?
asking because, there is, I don't know, there's many different styles of comedy, right?
Hmm.
And whatever style I do, it doesn't really lend itself to someone wanting to attack me. It's more of because I make fun of myself. I don't pick on anybody else. I make fun of me and my town and my family, and it's mostly fun. I'm just a fun act. So I don't really have those problems as much as, say, someone who might, I don't know, I'm just going to use Chris Rock, who comes after people and, not in a mean way. It's a joke and you're allowed to do all of these things.
Yes.
But I feel like I'm fortunate in that aspect. And I think that you're like, you don't really attack people. I mean,
I really don't. I think my only issues are with people who have problems elsewhere besides the comedy club. I think, you know what I mean? I joke around. I'm like, you're just too old to strip. I mean, like, that's just what happens. I pick on me and my family.
By the way, that's not true. That's not true.
It's never. You know what's funny is I appreciate everybody coming to the show, but I really don't need them there to say the things about my family that I'm saying anyway. Because
Right.
like, you just get to be a fly on the wall. I wanted to know this. What do you think is the possibility? We talk about this all the time, our group. And then we're going to open up the questions to everybody else. If you have a question, let me know, raise your hand and we'll get it going. What do you think the possibility is of us all getting together and touring? Because I mean, I just think we are really, truly good friends. You, me, John, Reno. Zoe.
Yes.
It would be a great show, don't you think?
I agree. I'm down with this. We are all I like that you were using the Gen X angle. But when I see the X comedy, I love Xanadu. I know you pronounce the X with a Z. So when I'm looking at it, I go, how are we pronouncing this? Is it Zomedy? Is it X comedy? Well, how do you envision that we talk about it out loud?
I was saying Zomedy, but someone else came up with ComX.
I like that better.
That's probably a better name.
Just because it's going to confuse people. If they see the X, they're going to think, "Are we doing X-rated material?"
Well, that's what ComX I think was. Okay.
Yeah.
Clap your hands if you like Zomedy. It's a show with Gen Xers and open to everybody. But clap your hands if you like Zomedy. Okay, there's a couple. And clap if you like ComX. Oh, well, now they like them both. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's workshop it some more. I'm down with this. I'm in no matter what we call it.
I want to do it like Hee Haw for Gen Xers. We're going to do skits in between. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll have some guests. We'll be the regulars. We'll be the crew. We'll add a few more people. But
I love it. I mean, it's weird. Like when you think of Gen X, right? People think of like alternative music. They think of Nirvana and Pearl Jam because that's sort of what was happening in there, right? Is that what you think most people think? And I'm like, and I love Nirvana, I love Pearl Jam, but when you think of Gen X, I don't think people think Jon Reep, which sucks because I am a part of that.
I think it's kind of the genre and it's kind of the no nonsense. You know what I mean? It's the people who, look, if we were at a different time in our careers, we might be talking about how our parents didn't give us timeouts, they gave us knockouts, that kind of stuff, even though we're not doing those jokes. So just rehearse. But it's more of a mentality, I think. You know what I mean? I think it's definitely. And then we'll close it we'll sing a song like where we'll come up with something.
Well, but we got to do a Gen X song, we got to do karaoke at the end that we'll do like a Weird Al Yankovic version of like, a Pearl Jam or Nirvana song. And we'll all,
or whatever it is,
Alanis Morissette.
Prince. Oh my God, Alanis. Well, I'm going to open up. I'm going to open up if you want to come on stage right now and ask us some questions. We're here for you. We have a few minutes left. Thank you for dealing with the sound issues at the beginning. I'm learning through this the whole time. There's a lot of stuff in the chat. I'm not great at trying to do 17 things at the same time because I truly do have ADD, not just to try to lose weight and get the Adderall. And I can't do it all at the same time. So
Adderall's fun. I've been using Tramadol recently. Have you heard of Tramadol?
Sure. Are you in pain?
Yes.
With what?
No.
With
I
what?
had I had shoulder surgery a while back,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
and
that hurt.
so they gave me tramadol, and now I take because when I fly or travel, I get it gets stiff and it gets sore. So I have a prescription for it, but it's not why I just love it. I feel like I'm more productive on it. It's kind of like
That's
my
awesome.
Adderall.
Well, I was just listening to all of that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard testimony
Oh
and
my
all that.
gosh.
I mean, and they talk about MDMA like I take my vitamins. I think I'm like my brain would be completely fried. I'm just not a drug, and I'm not insulting them. They can do what they want to do, but I
Yeah.
will say that there has never been. You remember the this is
Yeah.
your brain on drugs. Just show the picture of the turd in the bed. That's your brain on drugs, right
Right.
there. Okay?
Oh, just a picture of both of them in that courtroom. I mean, Johnny Depp, God love him. You know, everyone loves Johnny Depp. By the way, I think he's winning so far. Don't you?
Well, what would you? I was going to say, let's pretend
Okay.
that each of them are your friend. Okay,
Okay. All
pretend
right.
your friend, and separately, so it's not like you have to go. I'm telling this one. If Johnny Depp is your friend, what are you telling him about the trial right now?
Why are we doing this? I know she wrote that op-ed piece and it made you angry, and you think you're saving your career. I don't know if this is helping.
Okay.
I don't. He doesn't need the money, I don't think, and it's really just making it look like two immature little kids fighting in front of the world, and it's kind of sad and gross to watch, and it's not making him look good. I mean, the way that he's talking, I'm like, what drug is he on now? He doesn't. It's not making him look any better. So why are we doing this?
But you
Is what I
have to.
would tell him.
Okay, so that's and so you're Amber Heard's 3 a.m. friend now. What would you tell her about it?
Well, she's the one who got dragged there,
Okay.
right? Because
Yeah.
he's right. I mean, yeah, he's suing her, right? Okay, so she
Right.
was essentially dragged there because of the lawsuit.
Right.
So, as if she were my friend, I would tell her, you, well, I don't know what happened. That's the thing. We don't know the truth, right?
Well, all
So,
I would tell her is that definitely that she should have donated whatever amount of money she said she was going to donate to those charities before she showed up in court, because
yeah,
you know that they were going to pull that out. And I would tell her that she should just not go with a full makeup artist and hairstylist
yeah,
every day, because the jury is made up of people like us, like me and you, like you know what I mean. Like I'm not here with full makeup. We're not.
uh-huh,
The best thing she could do is relate. But I think that all I
right,
know is that man, I know couples like that, and I think every crazy couple that is
yeah.
together right now that is watching that happen is going to be checking to make sure they aren't videotaped from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they were both secretly videotaping each other. That's a toxic relationship. I'm happy that it's over for them, but I mean, I was in a bad marriage, and I know what that's like. And it's
Hmm.
you just don't want to. I think both parties are a little bit to blame. I mean, Johnny probably was drinking a lot, and I don't know if he was abusive, but I think both of them probably sparked the other one, and it just kept going because their egos are so big that neither one of them can lose the argument. And so sometimes you just got to go, fine, whatever, just be done with it. But yeah, I would tell her those same things. I would tell her try to look as sad and as just apologetic as you can. I mean, the poop thing is gonna live with her forever. I wonder if there's a way she could sue him
For
later
the
on
poop,
for bringing up the poop, if indeed it was a dog's poop. Because his argument is, I got tiny dogs. There's no way that they could have shit that much shit. But I've seen tiny dogs
well, I
push
think
out some
he
big
admitted
turds.
it to a bodyguard. But I also know a girl whose boyfriend was cheating on her, and he used to keep his shoes outside his apartment. And that's part of she knew because she went up there and there were girls' shoes outside. So like, duh,
Oh.
she peed in all of his shoes. And that girl may or may not be related to me. And I may or may not know because I was there laughing my butt off.
That's funny. Oh, that's great.
In my
Yeah.
20s, not in my 50s. So, well, John, I thank you so much. Before I go, is there anybody who wants to jump on? You have any questions? You want to say hello? We have
Yeah.
a few minutes. We can jump in and hold it because I can.
I would love to talk to somebody on here. This is a neat little app. You said this is Mark Cuban's thing?
Yes, and it's really been so cool for me because I've always, as you know, people say, Tammy, get a podcast, Tammy, get a podcast. And I've always been very nervous because I don't know, I think I leave it all out on the stage. I always feel like somebody doesn't want to hear it. I also came from the radio days where everything had to be perfect. And it's been so wonderful. And the people who follow this have been so kind to me, allowing me to make my mistakes. I'm not used to making mistakes publicly. You know what I mean? Like I'm not used to fall. It's like tripping and falling every show, but you learn and they do all these fun little things where they want to be part of it, the show, and they clap. And I'm just wondering if anybody wants to jump on the show. I mean, come on, Jana. I know you have a question for John. I know you followed Last Comic like crazy. There's a few people.
How many people can you? I'm trying to play around with this. We've got Colin, Tina, Juliet,
That's right.
Chantel, Liz, Maggie, Jackie, Chris, Brian, Solace, Megan, and Fairuz, I think. So are all these people? So they've already signed up for this app to listen to your show or maybe other shows.
There's so many. Yes, there's amazing content on here. I mean, there's Jay Leno has a show.
Cool.
There's so many great. Juliet, she's here. She was with us. She's there. She is. She's got an amazing show. These platforms are so cool because you can talk about, find your audience, open it up, and they will interact with you. Except for tonight, I don't know what's going on.
Well, I can give you real quick until someone comes on here if you want, because I can walk around. That's what I love about this. My podcast, I'm like I have to sit at the desk. I can't get up and move around. But here I've got, I can walk around and give you a tour of the studio if you want.
Oh my God, I would love it. Is this your home studio?
This is it's in my hometown, but it's not in my house.
So did you have to come here just for me? I'm so sorry.
No, I was already here. I was doing
okay.
other stuff.
Please show me. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So this is country-ish. That's the backdrop right there. A little wooden sign says country-ish. Little shelves. I love this desk I've got. I wonder if I can spin the camera around.
Let's see. We'll follow you.
Boom. Here we go.
Ooh, that's beautiful.
We've got this desk right here. I love this wooden custom piece. These are all the tripods. Custom desk that was made for us. It's got the little tray, so guests can sit there. I sit there.
Wow.
Laptop. We've got. This is what it looks like. What I'm looking at. We've got 1, 2, 3. There's like 5 or 6 cameras for this one show because my interns sit over here. And they check live Facebook and YouTube comments. This is what I call my fan art wall, or also known as the fan art wall, when people send in art. Some guy, someone made that of me, so I put that up there. And then we've got another desk right here for just another intern who sits there. And we've got my art teacher made that Hickory Hollywood sign. It looks like Hollywood, but it says Hickory.
I love it.
And then made that. And so our engineer producer sits in here. Got another camera on him.
Kelly Pickler from your town.
She's from North Carolina, but she's not from Hickory.
Oh, I thought she was from Hickory, close by to you. I think I probably made a stupid roast joke about that, and I was probably wrong.
No, she's not far. I mean, it's, Kelly Pickler. Who else? Eric Church is a country singer that's from here. You got Madison Bumgarner, who's like a World Series MVP baseball pitcher. You've got Dell Jarrett, a lot of NASCAR guys from around here.
Sure.
And the pig from Green Acres.
Oh, that's so cute. Well, we are running close. Thank you for that tour. That's pretty amazing, buddy. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find your podcast?
Anywhere you can get a podcast. We are one of the only podcasts that are live. We go like this is live right now. Mm-hmm. We go live every Tuesday night at 8:00. But it's also a podcast you get anywhere else. So it's live on YouTube and Facebook. go to countryish.com and you can subscribe right there.
That's so great. Jon, thank you so much for doing the show with me. I really appreciate it.
My
You
pleasure.
are a 3 a.m. friend, and I will try not to bother you. Be safe on the road. For those of you who are watching, listening, we thank you for this. I have new dates coming out. I'll be in Cleveland, my hometown, November 12th. It's a really big show at the Hannah Theater. Thank you. Guess who's opening for me? Dolph Ziggler, Nick Nemeth from the WWE. He does some
Yeah.
stuff and so funny.
Wow, no kid. I know that guy. Say hey for me. I know him.
I will. I'm going to live my dream of being like a manager in the WWE that night. I'm just going to pretend in my head that I'm actually part of it. And then in 2 weeks from tonight, we always do the show every 2 weeks. So Greg Proops will be here with us on 3 a.m. Friends.
Oh,
so
wow.
RSVP now. Jon, I love you. Thank you
I
so
love
much.
you, and I'll come back anytime. And I'm not just a 3 a.m. friend. I'm a 24/7 friend.
I
Anytime you
know
need me.
you are. Oh,
All right.
I love you. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.